Let's start with this face. But to go undercover Monday night into this downtown Newark homeless shelter, former New Jersey Governor Dick Cody needed a makeup job.
We're not going to use anything that's too heavy, like any heavy kinds of makeup, because that would be too obvious to anyone who looks at him.
So for the next hour or so, makeup artist Michelle Spooner worked to make subtle changes so that no one would recognize this former governor a little later when it was time to penetrate the world of homeless shelters.
It's a crapshoot. Sometimes you get in, sometimes you don't.
Davison is talking about anyone trying to get into a shelter. Cody's effort, and here's his before and after makeup job, will replicate that effort as a homeless person, Jimmy Peters. Walking down University Avenue around 9 at night with a social worker to get him in, Cody entered the Goodwill Rescue Mission on a one-night-only emergency placement.
To find a place to take you if you're homeless was impossible, essentially, unless you were on some government entitlement program.
Which also means you need an ID. Cody took this picture of his sleeping arrangements, yes, on the floor with about 20 others.
For me, it was tough. I sleep on my side, so by 3 a.m., my hip was hurting.
We went to Goodwill several hours later, saw the chapel where Cody had slept on the floor the night before. We were shown where new quarters are being built for longer-term homeless, and for the first time, a bunk area will be ready in another month or so for those emergency cases like Cody. No more bedrolls on the chapel floor. But Goodwill says its rules are looser than others and considers itself a last resort struggling in a bad economy.
We just, don't have the funding anymore to feed and house the homeless like we once did.
If you're sick, you can be hospitalized right away, but if you're mentally ill and homeless...
The system does everything it can to divert that person from the needed service. It's absurd.
Cody's homeless journey is over, but he says he'll continue his advocacy. Brian Thompson, News 4 New York.